Okay, we're back. Always a delight to have Bryan Platt in the studio with us. He heads up Jackson County Right to Life, and we got a lot to do in here in just a few moments. But you got quite a few things going on, big guy. What's up?
Yeah, just kind of everything's happening right now all at once, or at least it seems that way.
Yeah.
So, so we want to start with just an update on the petition Oregon 2014 drive.
Right.
And of course, this is the petition where we're seeking to put a measure on the November of 2014, the general election, November 2014 ballot, where we put a constitutional amendment in place that prohibits the use of yours and mine, Oregon taxpayers' money being used to fund elective abortions in the state of Oregon.
Which, by the way, as of today, your tax dollars are paying for 11 abortions today in the state of Oregon. Your tax dollars every day of every year in the state of Oregon, your tax dollars paying for 11 abortions.
I just think the numbers, people just, everybody's signing it that, is pro-life, believers and stuff like that, but I still don't think we can wrap our hands around that. If we truly believe that these babies are people created in God's image, why aren't we out on the street corners saying, here's my petition, we got to get this signed? I mean, this is a life or death issue for 4,000 babies a year. So people say, well, how do we get here? What is it? How in the world could this even be happening?
Voila.
Here's a graphic. This, and we all have stats and data and stuff, but I'm a visual kind of guy. I mean, this thing really put this in perspective for me. And what it is, it's compiled by the Alan Guttmacher Institute, which of course is an arm of or affiliated with Planned Parenthood. So this is the pro-abortionists data that we're using here, but to me it's stunning. And what you see is across the top are various colors, and those colors represent different types of restrictions that states have put in place to restrict abortion in some respect or another. The top state, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Go Sooners, or whoever you're for. Okay, so there's all these different types of restrictions. There's actually 10 different colors represented there. And as you go down the list, state by state, down, there's North Dakota. They just passed a personhood amendment, a while back. Here we are going down, all the way to the very bottom, the bottom one. And there is no color in that column. And that state is the state of Oregon. There are no restrictions on abortion at all in the state of Oregon. Why do we have 8,000 or 9,000 abortions going on every year? Because there's nothing reining that back. There's nothing reining that back. The legislature, our ballot initiatives, nothing has been successful in the state of Oregon.
Well, I don't think there's anything more stunning than that visual right there. That says it all. Wow. Come on. This is a no-brainer. We got to get these petitions out. Pastors, it's totally legal for you to have this petition in your church, and I hope that you get it into your church. All right, what's next?
Okay, so next is, we had a little deal going on here at one of the local high schools that kind of has expanded. Wasn't something we were asking for, but here it is in our face, and that is the influence of Planned Parenthood and programs that Planned Parenthood has managed to infiltrate into the school systems here in Jackson County. It's a long story, but the bottom line was, a few years ago, Planned Parenthood of the United States gave a coalition of Planned Parenthood districts in the Pacific Northwest $20 million specifically to get into the high schools and began to indoctrinate high school freshmen with the Planned Parenthood message. They're very clever. This has been going on for 3 years. The school districts which said, we know nothing, there's no Planned Parenthood influence in our school system at all, absolutely none, positively, without question, this was put in under their noses. They didn't even know it. And it's because Planned Parenthood is an expert at using different organizational names and things. The Northwest Coalition for Adolescent Health. Oh, that's great. It happens to be as a group of 6 or 8 Planned Parenthood districts. That's all it is. Wow. It's nothing more, it's nothing less, but it's Planned Parenthood and the pro-abortion message. The high school students are being indoctrinated. They're brought in. It's fun. It's peer group. It's challenges. It's make a difference in your community. Do something different. It's exciting. They're together for a bunch. And if they complete a little survey periodically in this program, they get a $10 bill. A $10 bill to a high school freshman. $10. I mean, how many times can you go to the Burger Doodle for that?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And so we now have the Eagle Point School District is aware. This program is called TOP, T-O-P, Teen Outreach Program, and there's another affiliated program called Community Voices. So I'm asking everybody to contact their school districts. Have they heard of the Northwest Coalition for Adolescent Health? Have they heard of TOP, that's just Teen Outreach Program, or have they heard of Community Voices? These are Planned Parenthood programs indoctrinating these kids, so down the road, when things get tough, who's the first person that they turn to?
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood. And it's all about the money.
$10. They're
Pay
actually
you
buying
$10, and on they have to get their parents' permission. Okay,
so parents beware.
Parents beware. So the parent signs this thing. It says on there on the Planned Parenthood literature, on the Northwest Coalition for Adolescent Health literature, some of these questions you may feel uncomfortable answering them. Well, can you imagine what the content of that questionnaire is? But it doesn't matter. These kids want to be together. They want to be in a group. It's something new. It's something exciting.
And it's $10.
And it's $10. So this is how they work. And again, what they're doing is they're building a relationship. They're building a friendship. They're building trust. They find out it's fun to be around. And 8 or 9 or 10 or 3 or 2 years, whatever it is from now, when they get in trouble, I'm in trouble. You know what? I think we got to get down to Planned Parenthood. I think they test for pregnancy there, or they test for STDs there, or whatever. And they got them. They got them.
Wow.
So this is a big deal. And if the parents don't get involved and begin contact, and as far as I can tell, it was a Jackson County program. So I suspect it's in every school district in Jackson County. Parents, you better call them and find out.
Give those names again.
Okay,
TOP.
So it's TOP TOP, which is Teen Outreach Program, or the Northwest Coalition for Adolescent Health, which is the umbrella organization, which is only just a group of Planned Parenthood districts. That's all it is. Or Community Voices. Those are the ones to ask your school board about, and that'll tell you if they have it. It's a Planned Parenthood program, in spite of the fact that all of them have said to me there is no Planned Parenthood influence in our school district.
Well, folks, you've been duly warned, and parents, you've been duly warned. If you have teenage daughters and sons, you need to know this, especially if they're in middle school, heading into high school. You just need to know. Write this stuff down. Get involved. All right, one more thing. You got an event coming up this weekend. This is annual.
This is an annual event. We call it the Life Chain. And, sometimes I've heard you say, and we've talked about, you get so busy, I forgot to pray.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do we sit down and truly petition the Lord to end abortion? I mean, how many times? So this Life Chain event, it's in a public forum, it's in a public venue, it's at the corner of Biddle and McAndrews, and in Medford it doesn't get too much more public than that. I think that's probably the busiest intersection in town. But we meet there this coming Sunday. It's from the event actually starts at 2:45 p.m. It goes until 4, so an hour and 15 minutes. We give you a sign that says, "Pray to stop abortion," or something like that. On the back, as you're holding, we spread out around the four corners of that intersection.
Very peaceful.
And we hold this. There's not even supposed to be any talking. This is a meditation and prayer event. We are petitioning the Lord to stop abortion, and we're doing it in a public fashion. And I just can't say enough about, number one, it gives you time to catch up. I mean, it really does.
Yeah.
And number two, the public needs to know that we rely on the Lord ultimately, for our victory. I mean, look, that chart tells you that our human efforts haven't really done a whole lot of good, at least in the state of Oregon. So I would ask pastors to mention it to their congregants, on Sunday. Pastors, we'd love to have you there. We're going to have one really big cross. I mean, this is clearly a prayer event. Wow. There is no doubt about it, and in a public place. So it's going on in hundreds of communities around the United States simultaneously, which is kind of a neat thing. It happens rain or shine. I think right now, my buddy Greg Roberts, he's claiming that it's going to be sunny on Sunday, but who knows from day to day. So I just, it's a time to just stop and meditate and pray. And maybe for someone who said to themselves, I just see all this stuff, craziness going on, whatever the issue is, Lord, will you lead me to something I can get my hands around? Yeah. Maybe come on down and pray and see if the Lord might, lead you towards that.
I just really encourage you to do this, folks. This particular issue, I think, hinges on this issue, Brian, everything that we're battling. And until we stop killing babies in the United States, we're going to have problems. And until we get this issue straightened out, everything else becomes the result of not having this issue stopped. And I believe that. I believe everything we're doing in the United States hinges on the fact that we're killing babies.
It's such a fundamental component of God's plan for society, starting with the family.
Right.
And when we can kill our family members with impunity, it kind of breaks down from there.
Yeah.
And we can see it. We're old enough to have seen the good old days, more or less, and to see where we're at now.
All right, a couple things now. If you haven't gotten the petition, get one. How can they do that?
Oh, and we've got some now out in front there.
Okay, so you can come by the Dove and get them, and then they can take them to their church?
Yeah. No, and that's it. Take them to your church, take them out to your family members. Business owners, can you put one on the counter at your place of business?
Right.
Any way that we can find ways to do things that we didn't do the last time, because we fell short by 75,000 signatures last time.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a website. It's www.oregon2014.com.
Okay.
Oregon2014.com that has all the information on it.
All right, so that's the petition, and maybe you could be the point person in your church to head up the petition drive, and you got a year, but well, you don't.
Yeah, don't say that.
You shouldn't say that. Yeah. You got till when?
You got till next week.
Okay, I know what you're doing here. All right, it's going to be on the year ballot. All right, you got some things there.
Yeah.
All right, don't forget the Life Chain, which is coming up Sunday at the corner of Biddle and McAndrews. And this stunning figure, look at this. All of these here are states that have restrictions. Look at the very, very bottom. Last state, no restriction. State of Oregon. Unbelievable. Intolerable. It has to stop.
It has to stop.
All right. Thank you, Bryan. God bless you,
Thanks,
pal.
Bear.
See you Sunday. And get those petitions. And look out, again, those two names.
TOP, Teen Outreach Program,
and the other one?
Community Voices.
And then the other one, the Northwest.
And Northwest Coalition of Adolescent Health.
All right. See if your school's involved in that. Okay. Thanks, Bryan. We'll see you next time on Focus Today.